And then finally, an update, as promised, on a woman who's on a mission to raise awareness and raise a lot of money in the next couple of weeks. She's hoping for a program that she runs inside Washington prisons to transform inmates while they are still incarcerated so that when they are released, they have the skills needed and they've undergone the transformation while still behind bars. This is Ginny Burton and her Out Impact Coalition program that I'm talking about. Um, what the state is doing isn't working. We have a pretty high recidivism rate, and we spend a lot of money to incarcerate. The average incarceration costs for an inmate in the state of Washington are more than $63,000 a year. And then we spend thousands and thousands more when they get out and go into these low barrier, no barrier housing models. Many of them then return to addiction because they didn't truly learn the skills and do the hard work, the transformational work while they were still behind bars. And then the cycle ends up repeating. And of course, that costs you and I, the taxpayer, a lot more money. So Ginny Burton's program has a cost of $4,500 per inmate. She has lost some of her funding. She did have a Department of Corrections funding, now only about $80,000 for this year at a cost of $4,500 per inmate. She needs about $250,000 this year to put another 40 inmates through the program. So she's trying to raise that through private donations, and she's walking more than 300 miles across the state of Washington. She set out very early on Sunday morning from the top of the trailhead, the Palouse to Cascades Trail, so just outside North Bend. And I met up with her just after 6 o'clock on Sunday morning as she was preparing to set out. And this was part of that conversation with Jenny Burton of Out Impact Coalition.
We're at the Cedar Falls Trailhead in North Bend. There are actually two in Washington. One's on Highway 20. This is not the one on Highway 20. This is the one on I-90. Um, I tell you, we spent the last couple of days getting ready. It has been a heck of a push. We got here to the trailhead probably at about 10 o'clock last night and finally went to bed around 11:30. Um, Waiting for folks to show up here and get stuff going. We are going to embark on our journey today, 22.9 miles from here at the Cedar Falls Trailhead to Hyack, which is up at the summit of Snoqualmie.
So again, the goal is a big one. I checked the website today. She's up over the $22,000 ish mark out of the 250,000 she hopes to raise while she's walking, and she's asking people to come walk with her as well. People can do that, or they can make donations on the website. It is out.org/walk. If you just search out Impact Coalition Walk, you'll find it. There's a number of different places you can find her on Facebook, but her out .org website is actually o-ut walk.org. I'm sorry, .org and then /walk. And then you can get to the donation page. You can also find out where she's going to be making stops along the way if you want to meet up with her and walk. And she did send me a little update this morning when she was on mile 6 at about 10 this morning, and she was full of energy and said that everything was going well. I want you to hear one more clip from my conversation with her early yesterday, just before she set out on day 1 of the walk, and she ended up putting in, I think, like 26 miles yesterday. She was only gonna do 22.9. I think they ended up doing more than that, but she was herself an addict for more than 30 years, in and out of incarceration, prison terms 3 different times. And finally, that last time in, it was just, something switched for her, and she decided to transform herself while she was still behind bars, and got out and put herself through school and created this wholly different model, this 26-week intensive program. And the guys she's putting through don't come back. They are self-sufficient when they leave. They've got a job, they're paying their own rent, they're reuniting with families, they're clean and sober, all requirements of her very intensive transformative program.
One would think that good work is supported and progressed. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case with solution based programs. And when I talk about solution based programs, I mean that what I teach inside of prisons isn't just a model, but it actually supports people becoming self sufficient. And so the goal really is to get visibility on my willingness to put in the work myself, not just sit around and ask government and others for money and to squander that money and have no accountability. I am willing to put my feet where my mouth is, and I encourage people to join me and be part of the solution. So I am hoping to raise $250,000 just on my own personal efforts. And with friends like you, I have been able to raise $20,000 so far. It's been fantastic over the last few weeks. We have about 230,000 to go to sustain us for a year to be able to put 40 people through the program. And when I talk about that, I mean 40 people that develop skills to where they learn how to navigate emotions. And then when they where they learn workforce development skill set and connect with network opportunities as they transition out into the community, where they maintain being clean and sober, where they reunify with their kids, where they get into housing and they stay there, and not taxpayer funded housing, but autonomously paid for housing where they actually move toward home ownership. So, I'm really focused on people getting the same kind of opportunities that I was able to hand myself. And because our system has gaps, I, as a person with lived experience, push my way through, and I've tried to develop a pathway for others just like me. And so far, I've been successful.
So obviously, you can probably tell I'm a believer in what she's doing. And as a taxpayer focused organization here at the Center Square, we need to start getting our policymakers, our those that have the purse strings for things like this, to pay attention to what's working, because this is working and at a fraction of the cost to incarcerate these guys and to see the revolving door, not to mention just the destroyed lives. I've met some of the men that have gotten out after they've gone through her program, and they're wholly convinced these guys are the champions for her organization now. And even guys that are still behind bars, some have completed her 26-week program, but they're still in custody. They are the biggest proponents. They're getting other guys to get signed up. But again, there was a cost. She's got educational materials. She's got some staff that have to go in and train, and then they do make sure and connect these guys once they're out. So there's a cost for all of this. But if you believe in her message, believe in what she's doing, I would encourage you to check out the website and maybe make a donation to what she's doing. So again, check out the website at out.org/walk. And go and walk with her if you've got some time off the next couple of days. She is the most fascinating person to talk. She's completely and totally authentic, completely transparent with what she's doing. So if you have any questions about what she's doing, she says, "Come out and walk with me. You can walk a mile with me. You can walk 20 miles with me. You can walk the rest of the way to Spokane." So I encourage you to check that out. So that's a wrap on today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily. Check out our Center Square Washington page for more articles like this, as well as my colleagues here are doing incredible work. So thanks for watching on this Monday. We hope to see you again tomorrow.